So hi everybody. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I think I'm pretty excited today because again I kicked out the video yesterday. Today another one just for you guys. So sit down tight, popcorn again as usual, and just let yourself go and enjoy the show. Right. Just before I start, right? Don't hesitate to press that button and subscribe. And of course, I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy that show. So press on the like button as well. What are we going to talk about today? Well, boys, we're going to talk about that Boneless Jones who's talking. He's been talking all that jazz through social media, and we know why he's been talking all that jazz. Because we know that he's under the coward protection program of the UFC. Yeah, he's under the coward protection program of the UFC because he's talking all that stuff, all that stupidity, right? Because he know that Dana White, Daddy Dana, is never gonna let him fight guys like Tyson Fury or again the Predator Francis Ngannou. The last thing that he said, where we seen it and that has made a lot of noise on social media, was his little video that he did when that he did with his little girlfriend there, Maurice Green, right? Where he was again trashing Francis Ngannou, knowing very clearly that no matter what, uh, Daddy Dana would never let him fight Francis Ngannou, especially since Francis Ngannou is with another promotion, right? So he was there. His little girlfriend, Maurice Green, who actually is known for laying on his back, as we see here, spending more time laying on his back than really fighting on his feet, right? Was all giggly seeing his man trashy Francis Ngannou. Look at him. And that's why he's known for. I don't understand. But what can I say? That's his choice, and who am I, right, to say anything about it? But in any case, so the way that we're going to approach this, right, is very simple. I had a little discussion with a guy on a video that I was looking on YouTube, right, and the only thing that I'm going to do is very simply because there's this narrative that John Jones is trying to portray, that Boneless Jones, that Coward is trying to portray, that Francis Ngannou is running away from him, that he's been running away from him ever since, right? Which is totally absurd. But I don't know why. Some people are buying this. Some people are buying this. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it's robots or if they're so gullible. I don't understand. But I'm just going to go through that little conversation, right? So that we try to debunk, right, that false belief, right? Because at the end of the day, like I was saying, right, he's saying all that stuff because he knows that even if he says that he wants to fight Francis Ngannou tomorrow, Boneless knows that Daddy Dana is never going to say yes. Look at Maurice Green, the little girlfriend. Look at that. He likes it rough, I think, right? So Daddy Dana is never going to say yes, right? So definitely he's under that coward program of protection of the UFC. Definitely. So let's go. Uh, as I said, that's how we're going to do it because there's that narrative that is saying that's trying to push not only by Boneless Jones, right? But we have other little like a cheerleader of the UFC, like your Chael Sonnen, you got who or Shab. What's his name, man? The guy was really like a mediocre fighter. What is Shub? I don't know what his name is anyway. I don't think it's important to remember his name. And we have other people like Bisping who are also doing that type of stuff. I don't understand why. Right? Maybe they owe one to the UFC. Anyway, let's go. We're gonna try to debunk this. So let's have that discussion. Let's read the conversation that I had with that guy. We're not gonna read everything, but yeah. Okay, where does it start? So he started like this, right? I'm not going to give his nickname. So he starts like this. Now that Francis has left the UFC, I guess we will never know, but always remember Boneless Jones never left. He's still there as a champion. Yeah, so he's still there as a champion. Yes, he's there as the champion. And don't forget something, by the way. When we're saying that Boneless, he's a goat. Yes, he's a goat, but he's a goat at light heavyweight. Thank you. Okay, he's not a goat at heavyweight. The goat at easy heavyweight right now was called Stipe Miocic, right? And the Predator defeated and knocked out Stipe Miocic cold, cold. He folded him in two. It's as simple as that, boy. So when we're talking about goat, we have to be specific. We have to be specific. He's not the goat at heavyweight. He's the goat at lightweight. It's like if you were telling me that, oh, okay, DJ is the goat at his weight level, but he's stronger. He's stronger than because of that. He's going to be stronger than a light heavyweight or Dominic Reyes or something like that, right? This is totally stupid and ridiculous. You guys are totally crazy on taking people for fools, right? And some people are fools actually. So he goes on. He's still there as a champion. Had Ngannou stayed, he would have had the fight against Jones he so desperately crave. So first of all, like who's craving that fight? He's not craving that fight. He just said that yeah, it was a fight that he would have wanted to have, right? But they never gave him the opportunity to have that fight, right? And that is okay, man. He made his decision. The UFC went one way, Boneless went one way, and he took his path and went to the PFL. That's it. As simple as that. But he's not craving that fight. He's just saying that it's sad, especially for the customers, for us, right, the fans, not to be able to see a fight of this magnitude, right? So he goes on saying because that guy doesn't stop, right? He just keep going ranting like this. So Boneless is so desperate. So what did he say? Okay, so had Ngannou stayed, he would have had the fight against Boneless. He so desperately craves. Funny, he ran off just as Boneless was getting right to fight at heavyweight, though. Don't you think? No, my friend. No, my friend. I don't think so. I think you got a screw loose or two in your head, right? Thinking that, that is funny that Ngannou left just when Boneless Jones was ready to fight. That's crazy. First of all, right? It's been 3 years. For 3 years, he's been calling that fight. For 3 years, the UFC told him that he was going to have that fight. For 3 years. Even at the end, right? The last fight that he had with Cyril Gane, they asked him question. The 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 journalist asked him the question like, "What are you going to do? Who are you going to fight? Do you think that you would prefer to go like box a Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, or you would like to fight John Jones? Don't you think that John Jones?" So he said, "Yes, I would have liked to fight John Jones. They promised me John Jones, but right now they never gave me John Jones. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to believe anymore." Right? Again, what I'm saying is that don't take people for fools. Don't take people like this stupid, right? And that's what I believe is going on right now. And some people maybe are, but not everyone, right? Not everyone. So no, I don't think so. I don't think that Francis Ngannou ran away from him. What I find strange is how come Jones just decided to to fight right after Ngannou left. He decided to fight someone, right? Cyril Gane. So let's go. It's easy to say I want to fight John Boneless Jones when you're not even in the same promotion. Another thing that again is totally stupid and that is being spread up in social media right now is that oh, it's impossible for them to have a fight if they're not in the same promotion. False, wrong, zero, you fail. This is not the case, my friend. If they're in different promotion, there could be a co-promotion, right? As simple as that, right? But again, like I say, That boneless guy, right, who's talking all that jazz, he's talking all that jazz just because he knows that he's under the coward protection program of the UFC, and that Daddy Dana is never going to let him fight, right? Or a Tyson Fury, or a Francis Ngannou, especially Francis Ngannou, because he's in another promotion. It's simple as that, and he knows why. He knows why. He really knows why. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So, and he tells me, and high fight IQ is the reason Jones, boneless, didn't try and stand with Gan. He knew what his best route to victory was, and he took it. He took it. Yes, of course he took it. He knew that he couldn't stand. He knew that he couldn't trade against Gan again, because like I say in the other video, he's a pretty tricky guy again. And when you look at a guy like Boneless, right? You look at Boneless and the way that the few seconds that he had standing up, man, oh my God, did he look awful and awkward, totally awkward, right? So yes, I understand why, right? Uh, okay, so now he's talking about Ganu that took, okay, 5 rounds to be able to win by decision. Obviously, always forgetting to say that Ganu, first of all, had a great fight IQ when he saw that, okay, because of his knee, he couldn't move and follow Gan as easily as he would have done usually, right? He was If he was in good shape, and change his strategy and resort to wrestling to retain his belt. But this is not IQ fighting IQ at this point, right? And he forget to say that he had the busted knee. So that's often how they do it, right? But no worries, no worries. So that's what this guy is saying. Basically, that Ngannou ran away from Boneless Jones, right? And that Boneless Jones is calling him out, and that Boneless Jones again is the real champion of I don't know what, right? So here's my answer to the guy, right? Here's my answer to the guy, and that's what I think really in terms. So here he says, here I goes to answer, okay? You're so funny, buddy. Uh, and I'm saying he's funny is very simple because he's trying too hard. He's trying too hard, and especially not only is he trying too hard, but he's saying so much stupid stuff. Like if everybody that is on this that is on social media and talking about MMA is like 13 of 12 years old, right? And he's able to believe anything that people are saying. Totally ridiculous, boy. Totally ridiculous. Because his argument, everything that he's saying, really didn't make sense at all. So here's what I'm saying to him. The only one talking from his behind right now is Boneless Jones. And that's the truth. And I'm going to tell you why he's the one that is talking through his behind, right? Because I find it really strange. First, one, that this John Boneless Jones, right, find himself ready to fight just after Francis left the UFC, right? Just after Francis left the UFC, you got Boneless Jones coming in. And I know why they made Boneless Jones fight, because just before the UFC, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight. First of all, you got the UFC that was holding that fight with Jones as what, as a leverage for contract discussion, right? As a little carrot, telling him that first of all, you're gonna get that fight if you sign. And on the other side, you had this guy, Boneless Jones, that wanted to have his cash. I mean, it was just an excuse, right? Because at the end of the day, you got this Daddy Dana White back in the day was saying, like, you're saying you want to fight, but do you really want to, right? So the guy wanted to get paid, right? And that was his excuse, right? But all of this time, all these 3 years, Francis Ngannou was ready to fight. He was ready to fight that boneless guy, right? But it never happened, right? And you know what happened for him and what he had to go through to be able to fight his way out of his contract and out of the UFC, right? As simple as that, right? Now, What did I say again to the guy? And why did yeah? Oh yes, and why did he actually fight Cyril Gane? That's my question to you guys. Why did he actually fight Cyril? And for once, I was on the same side as Chelsonen. I was agreeing on what Chelsonen was saying. How come a guy that I was already how many times did this guy fought for the belt, Cyril Gane, and lost, right? A guy that was 1-1. How come a guy that was 1-1, you know, did fight again for the title? While you got your Stipe Miocic that is actually the GOAT. And if you ask me, like, which fight do you prefer to see? Do you prefer to see Boneless Jones against Cyril Gane or Boneless Jones against Stipe Miocic? To be honest with you, I would say against Stipe Miocic right away. After all, at the end of the day, if Boneless want to be seen as the GOAT of the heavyweight, I mean, if he wants to have a little bit more credibility, right? He would have had to fight Stipe Miocic, right? Not Cyril Gane. Come on, let's be realistic now, right? Let's be real. And especially, like I was saying, I mean, the record of Cyril Gane wasn't that impressive, to be honest with you, right? And again, styles make fight, and we know that Cyril Gane couldn't wrestle to save his life. While on the other side, you had a college wrestler, like a guy who has been wrestling all his life that was in front of him, right? And not a bad wrestler at all. So we know a little bit what was going on here, right? So, yeah. So how come it was Cyril Gane that had that fight? Totally ridiculous if it was up to me. Now, the other thing now, I was saying it's easy for Boneless Jones, right? Like we were saying, it's easy for Boneless Jones to call Francis Ngannou from across the street because he's calling him from across the street when he's locked up in an 8-fight deal again, and it's always come to that with that coward Boneless Jones, right? Is that he's talking all that stuff, right? And he knows that he cannot deliver. He knows that his daddy Dana White is going to protect him, right? He knows that his daddy Dana White is never going to go and let him fight. Already he's locked up in an 8-fight deal. Tell me, he's locked up in an 8-fight deal. How can he think by himself? How can he do shit by himself? And by the way, that's what Tyson Fury told him. He's told him, don't talk to anybody else. Don't talk to anybody else. You and me, just talk to me. Just talk to me. Call me. Talk to me, and tell me that you want to fight. Sign the contract, and we go fight. But what did Jones said? Boneless said, he said, "Oh no, you have to call my daddy Dana White, and he's going to arrange something." But on the other side, you got Francis Ngannou. He's able to say, "Okay, I signed here. Let's fight." He's going to tell you that right away, straight up. Let's fight, right? Something that Boneless cannot do without the approval of his daddy, right? Simple as that, right? While we see his little girlfriend Maurice Green, his little girlfriend Maurice Green, still on his back. You see, he likes that. He likes that like that. Like this. So yeah, so 8-fight deal, and you start screaming all over the place that you want someone while you know that you're not going to fight them. But you make it seem like, oh, I'm going to fight them. Ridiculous. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that, right? So now the other thing that I told him is that hey, Boneless really wanted to fight. Yeah. So if really Boneless Jones wanted to fight, right? If he really wanted to fight, it's not Francis Ngannou that he'd be trolling. If he really wanted to fight, it's not only Tyson Fury that he'd be trashing. It's not only Francis Ngannou that he'd be trashing, right? He would be trashing Dana White, and he would be putting some pressure on the UFC and Dana White, telling them that yeah, that's the fight that I want, and we want to see Dana his daddy's name in social media as well, saying that hey, listen, I want to fight, but Daddy Dana doesn't want me to fight. That's not what we're hearing. We're hearing someone screaming out wolf, knowing that nothing is going to happen. It's as simple as that. That's what. Although now we know that what happened to the guy who was screaming wolf, right? Wolf, right? We know what happened to him. So really, that boneless guy. I mean, he's doing a number out of here. He's unbelievable, right? And again, like I was saying, he's taking people for stupid, right? So we know he's under that coward protection program of the UFC, and that's why he's screaming all over the place that he wants to fight this guy, he wants to fight this, he wants to fight, like he wants to fight everyone right now. I believe, I don't know, he wants to fight everyone, like knowing that he actually cannot fight anyone because his daddy is there to protect him. He's under that protection program, right? So I'm keep saying here the last thing that I said to him, and we might stop there, right? By the way, he said blah blah blah. You got to that, okay. Uh, so again, like I said, that's Dana White said, yeah, you say you want to fight, but do you really want to fight? And in the case of Boneless Jones, I don't believe that he really wants to fight. I think that he's just content of trying to make people believe that he wants to fight, just maybe because it's kind of a directive from the UFC. Okay, trash him, trash him, trash him. Because in any way you're the goat, you're the goat. You're not the goat. You're the goat of the light heavyweight. That's what you're the goat of. That's it. And if we were going to talk about something that you're the goat of, yeah, maybe you're the pound for pound best fighter, right? It's not because Floyd Mayweather is the pound for pound best fighter that he was going to beat like all the heavyweight on the roster. Forget it, right? So you're just the light heavyweight or the pound for pound. That's it. Yeah, you're not the goat of the heavyweight division. Forget it. And especially not after beating Cyril Safgan. No, thank you, sir. No, thank you, sir. So now, guys, I'm going to tell you something here. I'm going to rest that case here, right? And I'm going to tell you something. When we see again that little John Jones, that little Jonesy here, Boneless Jonesy, your super champion, right? After DUI and domestic violence, that we tend to forget, right? And that we all acclaim that guy. Oh yeah, John Jones, John Jones. That's your champion. That's your mainstream guy who's going to go on ESPN, who's going to go on the TV shows and etc. And after that, we're going to see pictures like this, right? Domestic violence. You crying for what? Uh, so here we go. That's your champion, right? So let's go. I'm going to tell you something, guys. Right now, we're being handcuffed and we're being robbed of a great fight. We're being robbed of one of the great fight of, I think, the decade, right? And people don't seem to understand something that is going on here. We're taking sides. Some people are taking Francis Ngannou's side. Some people are taking John Jones and the UFC side, right? Saying that, oh, he betrayed the UFC and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, like, I don't know who was saying that. I think it was Chael Sonnen who was saying that. They are prize fighter, right? They are prize fighters. So uh, this thing is, give them the money that they demand, that they deserve for that fight, right? Give them the money that they deserve for that fight, and let's have them fight, right? But right now, we're being totally robbed of that fight, regardless on which side you stand. We're being robbed of that fight, and this is not fair. This is what is not fair. People trying to make us believe that because Ngannou and Boneless Jones are in different promotion that they cannot fight. We don't care about promotions. We just want to see the fight. And at the end of the day, when we say the press prize fighter and that we're saying that yes, we should see that fight, right? And we deserve to see that fight, right? Well, we do. And we have the mean to get it, right? Because at the end of the day, who's paying those fighters? If it's not you when you're buying those pay-per-view, right? Who's paying Dana White? Who's paying Jake Paul? Who's paying Francis Ngannou? Who's paying all these guys to make their business run if it's not you, the customers, you, the public, you, the fans that are going, right, buying their stuff, buying their promotional product, buying the pay-per-views, going and filling the seat of the stadium? Who, if it's not you, that is making those business run? So why let me ask you, why should we be, robbed of a fight that we want? Just to say that if we really wanted that fight, if we really, really, really wanted to see that fight, and if we really, really wanted to have that fight, we would have it. Because all we have to do is tighten up our purse, tighten up our wallets, right? And make suffer the promotion that don't want to give us that fight. The way that I see it right now is that I saw a post from Jake Paul and the PFL saying that, hey guys, we are ready to duke it out. We are ready to have an event where we would give people what they want to see. From what I understand, that's what Dana White also want people, to give the best fight to everyone, right? So my take is this. From what I see right now, the only one, the only organization, the only promotion that don't want us to have that fight is the UFC. That's what I understand, and that's what I see. Because on the other side, I have the proof that the proposition was made. Let's have that fight. I have that proof already. But on the other side, I don't have that proof. All I have on the other side is propaganda, is trashing, people claiming this, people claiming that, people yapping, people giggling, right? But no fact, no action, right? On the other side, I have action, right? So I'm saying myself, right? We are the one that are making those business run. We are the one that are putting the money in there to pay all these guys, to pay the fighters, to pay Dana White, to pay Hunter Campbell, to pay everyone in the rosters, right? So my take is this: is it time for us to boycott the UFC? Because to be honest with you, for me, I'm not buying any more pay-per-view from the UFC. For sure, I'm not buying any more pay-per-view from them, right? He's only time to put a little bit of pressure, because at the end of the day, maybe the customers should show these guys, right, that we're not just there, to give money and not have what we deserve and what we want, right? Because like I said, we are the one, moving the sticks. So that's my question today, guys. That's my question. Is it time to start boycotting the UFC? To let them know what we want and that we want to see that fight, right? Why should, example, the fighters only have as an option the UFC, right? They should have other options, other viable options, right? More competition, the better it is for the sport, the better it is for the fans, the better it is for the fighters, the better it is for the industry itself, right? But bottom line, we the fans are the one that are making this business run. But right now, we're being taken hostage. We're being robbed by UFC that doesn't want to give us that fight. Because on the other side, we know that they want to give us that fight. Should we start boycotting them? And show a little bit of balls and show a little bit of backbone. It's simple as that. Simple as that. Should we be starting to boycott them? Thank you. Give me your answer and in the comments. I really like to know what you guys think about that, right? Just to finish, we're gonna see again your super paper champion, the guy, the coward who is under the coward protection program of Dana White. Maybe he wants to fight, but we don't know that. To be honest with you, we really don't know if he wants to fight. So we know that he's under that that protection program. So who cares, right? What can I say? But let's give you the okay. Like we see the guy here with his girlfriend, Maurice Green, Maurice sporty Miss Maurice Green, right? With his boneless joint with his girlfriend. Look at her. How he's gay, how she's all giggly. She's happy to see a man trashing Francis Ngannou. Oh, he's so strong. He's so. Oh wow, what a man. Yeah. We know how he likes to be lying down, and we see the hypocrisy of of Boneless Jones, right? I'm glad that Francis knows his worth. No man has the right to shame another man for fighting for his worth. I was in very similar situation with Francis. Blah 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 blah. Oh, yeah, that's what he's saying because he knows he's all talk, no action whatsoever. And why? Because of Daddy Danny. So what can I say, right? Let's see some other beautiful picture of the guy. Oh yeah, baby, look at him, right? In all his glory, beautiful champion like the UFC like them. Now he's the boy, he's the man. Even for Daniel Cormier, who used to call him a bum, right? Because of all his stuff outside of the UFC, right? But even Daniel Cormier now he's on his side. Yeah, he's the best. He's the goat. He's the goat of what? So yeah. So here he is, your super champion. Oh, who is that? Look at Boneless. Look at Boneless DUI, right? Look at him. What's going on? I think it's a little bit more than alcohol, right? Maybe something on the nose or something. You know what I mean, right? So here we go. So that's your champion. That's your your mainstream champion. The guy who's going to bring the MMA to another level, right? Of popularity and all that stuff. That's your champion. The guy the role model that we want to present to those 10, 12, 13, 14 years old. And so that, oh yeah, he's going to give a good example, right? That's your champion, UFC champion. Awesome. We like that, right? And look at him in all his glory again, right? Just after, I think he was arrested there because of that domestic violence here, right? Look at him, you're super champion, the one who dared to talk and trash people, right? With his little girlfriend here, the guy who loves to trash people, right? Look at him, look at his little girlfriend, old jiggly, Sporty Spice. Sporty Spice who likes to be laying on his back. So that was for you guys. That's it for me. I'm good like this. Again, remember all that jazz that Boneless Jones is talking about. It's just because he's under the coward protection program of the UFC. That's the only reason why he's talking like all that crap to Tyson Fury. He's never gonna get close to Tyson Fury. Forget it. And not like he's well to be in the state and Tyson Fury is over there. Otherwise, they would be that would be crazy. Anyway, he wouldn't do anything. That's simple as that, right? All talk. And I don't know, he shouldn't even talk about Francis Ngannou, even less, right? Because we know that he's never gonna get close to Francis Ngannou, especially. Oh no, you know he's protected by the UFC, right? Under that coward protection program that the UFC has for he's so-called GOAT, right? By the way, GOAT of the lightweight division. Oh, that guy is really making me laugh. His girlfriend is really making me laugh. Oh, giggly, she's so excited. Oh, they must have had a good night after that, right? You know, red panty night maybe? I don't know. You just have to ask him. We know what's Maurice Sporty Spice Green favorite position is, laying on his back anyway. So here we go. So guys, most seriously, again, we're being taken hostage. We're being robbed of a great fight, right? Although we are the one making that are making that business run, right? By going into the stadiums and by paying those pay-per-view and all those merchandising, we are the one making that business run. So we need to make a statement, and we need to start making that statement to have that fight. So again, I'm asking that question: should we boycott? Should we boycott the UFC? It's as simple, and I'm serious. On my side, I'm already starting to do it. Should we boycott the UFC? I think we should. I think we should show them that at the end of the day, they should not take us for granted, right? They should not take us for granted and have discussion amongst them like if we didn't exist, right? All they think about is their, okay, we have 500k followers, we have 800 million 800,000 buys or 400 buys and all that. Hey, there's people behind those numbers. There are people behind those numbers. There are people that are working, right? That are not making millions, taking their little salary and giving it to you guys to buy pay-per-view or to go to the stadium, right? There are people behind those numbers. So stop taking us for granted and stop taking us for fool. Dana White, give us that fight. UFC, give us that fight. We want that fight. And I won't buy a pay-per-view anymore until I get that fight. Simple as that. Thank you very much. Give me your answer. Give me your appreciation of that. Thanks. Bye, guys.